So my initial impression of Raw, I thought this movie was kind of disturbing, and I think it had a good horror, and I think the gore kind of played into it, and it made the viewer feel uneasy and scared. So it was a good mixture of the two of those that kind of played well together. The whole idea of like the biting and the bloody bites and the scenes from that all just doesn't sit easy. I think it helps to play in with the ideas. Another scene was the when Justine was throwing up the hair. I thought that was really disgusting almost. Um, so horror, so Raw being coming of age film. So I think the idea of just moving to a new school, being a new person, peer pressure, trying to fit in, that all is coming to age with her personality and how she's growing up. Like we see kids with it all the time like nowadays. And then the idea of like the love life, like having a crush, whether she knows, all just like seeing how she like matures and ages. So Adrian's death, I kind of thought that was more out of spite and jealousy. So I think she never had anyone to deal with the cannibalism, but her sister had Adrian. It was kind of like her way out of it. So the sister was angry because of it. So she wanted her to experience what she felt. So she killed him out of like guilt, spite, like just anger. And then Raw and Rabid. So I obviously the idea of like cannibalism and blood and flesh are present in both, and like the person infected has to feed on it to survive, and that's what they want. But I also noticed that both the women and then like both the cannibals in the movie were both women, so I thought that was interesting in both films. Quarantine. Yeah, so the similarities between like our quarantine and the movie, like the idea of panic was shown in the movie, and we definitely saw that in real life, and more just like the blame game, like someone has to be the scapegoat to pin it all on, so someone can be mad at somebody, and just like the whole idea of being stuck, like stuck in a house. Um, how would I rate the scariness? Like a 6 out of 10. I think it's a little unrealistic, but like the idea that like we have been stuck in a house and we can be stuck in a house and almost being trapped in it kind of makes you feel a little uneasy when you're watching, knowing that something like this, in retrospect, like similar can happen of like the idea of being stuck. And then, question: if you could see a part two to any of these movies, which one would it be? I would see a part two for Quarantine to see like if there's a breakout, if there's they do it to other places, just like to see how it continues.